Welcome to Love, Money, and the Future, the numerology show for this week, November 10th, 2011. And what a week it's been. Seeds of change everywhere, all around the world, and of course within each person. So let's begin to address that with the birthdays that have been emailed to me from the yogiakal.tv website. I'm going to start with Zubir, who's writing me from the United States, and he's asking more about his very core, who he really is. He wants more information about the essence of his life. Well, Zubir, you are a leader. It's who you are. You have a quality within you that is very successful and helps other people to be successful. So it's important to maintain that in your life. But the cycle of your life right now is one that has to do more with study, with family, with concentration. Got to focus in on things. Don't try to expand too rapidly right now. Focus in on the things that are very important. The values that you work with, the people who are close to you in your life, your home, your education, and perhaps areas of service in your community. Those are the keys right now. You're a leader, you're a success maker, and nothing can stop that. So maintain it step by step through this year. Shannon is writing me also from the United States, and Shannon is an interesting lady. She's asking about her children, but unfortunately, Shannon, you didn't give me the birthdays spelled out. Whenever you give a birthday, you need to write out the month so I know whether it's the month or the day. It's different in different countries. But I do have your birthday properly, so I'll address a question about you. This is a time of new starts. You've waited a long time for this. You've waited 10 years to get to this point in your life. It's time for you to start looking ahead and not looking back anymore. Start thinking ahead 10 years. There's a lot of creativity in your life right now, and I would encourage you with that great big beautiful heart that you have to be non-reactive in the process. Because if you react, you don't listen, you're just argumentative or you're angry, any of these things, they are going to usurp your energy. Now you already know that, but I'm reminding you again. Also from the United States, Jensen is asking about his birthday. He's asking about business, and he's asking also about how to make a change in energy, especially in negative energy. Well, Jensen, you are a very successful person. The quality of your life is always victorious. Isn't that a good thing to know? In the end, you always come out on top. That's the beauty of things. But you have to deal with issues relating to power. So you've got to look back in your life a little bit and find out, did you learn what you needed to learn about money? Did you deal with some of the power struggles that happened early on in your childhood? Are you familiar with the consequences of life? And if you are and you're prepared to deal with it, then things move ahead in a very quiet way. On the other hand, this being such a powerfully creative year, it's a good time for you to be concentrating on the things that you know you can do well. Don't bother doing it if you can't excel at it. That's the idea. Now, your career is a good career. You need to be well known. You need to be out there. Now, that said, there is some negativity, and that negativity comes exclusively from your own creation. Now, how could that possibly happen? So many things happening to you? Well, it's simple. There's a subtlety in life. There's a sensitivity that you have, and that sensitivity can be organized and refined, just like a very fine computer, and that's what you need to do right now. The energy of your life needs to be refined. You're speaking to a yogi through meditation. Zia is contacting us from India, and Zia is asking about his name, sorry. Zia, this is not an answer that I can give you quickly on air. I require more information on it. I'm not sure why you want to change your name or if you'd like to add something to your name, whether you're looking for a spiritual name or for a business name. So I won't be able to answer the question you've asked, but I can tell you this. You are in a very good cycle for looking forward to success in your life. So be careful not to make a mess of that. There's all kinds of things that you could do right now that would trip you up, which is not a good idea. You have to stay on the straight and narrow this year. We have contact from Ecuador. Someone is asking about a potential relationship. I'll call this person XXX. Good idea to keep that anonymous. Well, XXX, The cycle for you right now is one of being alone, just for a little while longer. And the person that you're asking about, the timing is always off for the two of you, always. Next year, you're moving forward, and they're pulling back. So the time is still not right. You're asking, should you invest? I'm thinking not so much. Thinking not so much. Take your time. Friendship is good. Let's keep it there for the moment. And Parsh is sending in his birthday, wants to know about love, money, the future, and family. And Parsh, you have to give me the birthdays of the people in your family. Remember to spell out the month, day, and year. And but let's take a look at your birthday and how that map of life is unfolding. Parsh, you have nines everywhere in your numerology. It adds up to 99999. 9 and 0 are the same number. And these are numbers of mental control, where you have to control your own mind. And when you control your mind, of course, you control your life. You cannot procrastinate, and this is one of the things you have a tendency to do. It's not a good idea. This is a time for you to get super organized. And I think that if you can make a plan for yourself, you'll find that the next few years are unfolding like a flower unfolds. It's a very good process for you. Bola, I hope I'm saying it correctly, is also contacting us here in the United States and wants to know about finances in particular. Bola, this is a time that has nothing to do with money. You have to work on other things first. Then next year, 2012, it's all about money. And that starts on February 22nd in 2012. So between now and then, don't worry about money. That's not your priority right now. Work on you. Get strong and be patient. Lidawati is writing from the United States and wants to know about love, money, the future, the whole family. Well, to look at the family, I need their birthday. So I'm just going to speak about you and do it briefly. The process of your life is one of inspiration right now. You need to have a partnership. I don't know if you're engaged in a relationship. If you are, that should be the priority right now. If not, find a relationship and put some attention there. You're in a position of inspiration this year. You can make anything happen. You can manifest anything in your life just by thinking about it. It's a very powerful position to be in. We also have somebody writing from the United States, from the great state of Texas, who is asking a question about how to move forward in life. She's saying that she's dedicated so much time to family, to other things in life, but really not to herself. So she says, and is it okay just to take off now? Well, the answer to that is, boy, you got the wrong attitude here. Wrong attitude. If you're asking, is this a good time for you to be thinking about new things in my life? Yes. If you're saying, poor me, why did I have to sacrifice so much? And will I ever get what I want out of life? Oh, I hope not. That's a terrible attitude. You are at a stage of new possibilities. This is where you are now. So the opportunity is fantastic if you think ahead. You have to do it from the right standpoint. If you don't, that simmering that you have will not go away. I want you to remember this. You were born into a life where the possibility and probability of tragedy was ever present. But instead of that, none of it happened. And instead you have what I was calling a simmering, that there's something underneath everything that, Well, you didn't lose your legs. And instead, you've had to do things maybe that were not your favorite. There's been no suffering involved, just an impatience. So don't let that simmering get to you. Instead, it's over now. It's all over. All those possibilities and probabilities are done. All you've got to do right now is look ahead and think about, where would I like to be in 10 years? And start to move in that direction. Just don't blame anybody else for it. And there can be absolutely no regret or anger in the process. That will just mess you up. Lorene, I hope I'm saying this properly, is writing us and is saying that they're not happy with their life in general. Well, Lorene, that's unfortunate because this is a good year for you, especially right now, between September and December. This is a time when you can be re-examining your life and getting some of the real input that you need into your life. You were born without a real sense of identity. The bad news to that is that it's a struggle. The good news is you get to create whatever identity you choose. And this is a very good time for you to do that. I know you had a few years where things were really confusing. They're not so much now, so take advantage of that. You are a very good communicator. And you have a capacity in your life that is highly creative. Don't let that work against you. Concentrate. It's a time of good fortune. You want to start digging for that a little bit. Christy is writing us, and Christy is asking more of a general question. Christy, again, like some of the other people we've spoken to today, new starts, new opportunities right now, especially in the areas of work. Now, you're a very young person, and I'm asking you to be thinking about the work that you do and double it up. That's what's going to work for you right now, and think ahead. Jolynn is writing us, and Jolynn is asking about their birthday. And Jolynn, this is a time to practice the most important value that a young person can learn, and that is to forgive. Now, when I say forgive, I'm talking about to let go. Just to let go. If somebody's hurt you, just let it go. I'm not saying that they're right. They're not. I'm not saying that they don't deserve something, but that's not for you to deal with at this time. Right now, just let go of any resentments that you have. And any resentments that people might have towards you, just don't give it any energy at all. Because for you, everything is about finding the right kind of coach, the right kind of people in your life who can help you to move forward all the time, moving forward, moving forward. You're a very diplomatic soul, and it's very easy for you to get negative. So let's take you right out of that and bring you into a state of genius, which is where you really need to be in your life. And that you need some help with. People ask all the time about their numerology, so here's your chance. Love money in the future. Send us your questions. Fill out the form on yogiakal.tv. Ask me your question. And don't forget, if in your question there are other birthdays to ask about, spell out the month so I know which birthday it is, to be quite specific. And I'll be happy to answer your questions live on air right here on yogiakal.tv. We also teach numerology. If you have an interest in learning about it as an adjunct to your career, as a fascinating study, to understand your own questions of life and answer them for yourself, or as a career, this is the only place in the world to learn this and become an expert. Take a look right here on yogiakal.tv at Numerology Professor. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week on Love, Money, and the Future. Have a great numerological week.